Some years ago, as I was preparing for a Good Friday service, I ran into difficulty with one phrase that appears 3 times in Matthew chapter 27. The passage in question is this: Now on the next day the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered together with Pilate, and they said, Sir, we remember that when that deceiver was still alive, he said, After 3 days I am rising. Therefore give orders for the tomb to be made secure until the 3rd day. Otherwise his disciples may come and steal him, and say to the people, He has risen from the dead, and the last deception will be worse than the first. Pilate said to them, You have a guard, go make it secure as you know how. And they went and made the tomb secure, with the guard sealing the stone. The phrase that was giving me trouble was, make secure. And my difficulty was coming up with a clean, clear, simple translation of that phrase into American Sign Language. Now, I've been at this work for over 50 years. I've trained sign language interpreters. I served as a chaplain at Gallaudet University. So I do have a reasonable working knowledge of the language. But I could not come up with a precise ASL equivalent for this English phrase, make secure, as it is used in reference to the tomb of Jesus. This is the kind of challenge that sign language interpreters routinely discuss among each other as they strive to convey obscure or ambiguous terms with conceptual accuracy. One possible translation is this one. Now here we see a compound sign that literally means lock and stay put. This could actually work, but I wanted to be sure. Is there something missing in the English translation as Matthew expressed it in the original Greek text that may help me to accurately translate this passage into ASL? So let's go to BibleHub.com/interlinear. Click on Greek Interlinear Chapters. We're already in the Gospel of Matthew, so we go now to chapter 27. And to speed our search, I will hit Control F, type in the word secure, and immediately it takes us to verse 64. The word that we're concerned about here is this one, asphalastheni, translated here to be secured. The Strong's Concordance number is 805. Let's make a mental note of that, because before I click on it, I want to double check the next verse. And yes, here it is. We see the same word 2 more times in slightly different grammatical forms. So let's click on that concordance number and see what the lexicon tells us. The dictionary form is asphalizo. It's a verb, and it means to secure, to make safe, or fasten. Over on the right side in the Greek concordance, we see that asphalizo appears 4 times in the New Testament. The first 3 are here in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27, and the 4th occurrence is in Acts chapter 16, referring to the feet of Paul and Silas, fastened securely in the xylon, the stocks, in the Philippian prison. Okay, what I see here is that the best way to translate asphalizo in these passages into English is precisely the phrase that we already see in our English versions, to make secure. But this does not help me with my sign translation. Now, full disclosure, when I originally embarked on this study, the Bible Hub online tools did not exist. My primary language resource, besides my hard copy of the Greek New Testament, was my Bauer Arndt Gingrich lexicon of the New Testament. And here's what I found. The first definition offered, applicable to both Matthew 27 and Acts 16, is guard someone so that he cannot escape. That works. For Matthew 27, I could sign this troublesome phrase as guard the tomb. But did you catch the rest of that definition? Guard someone so that he cannot escape. Yeah, the chief priest did not want Jesus to escape from the tomb. And when I read Pilate's answer, "Go make it as secure as you know how," that sounds like our culture today, still trying hard to keep Jesus in the grave. Well, it didn't work for Pilate, and it still won't work today. Jesus did escape the tomb, and with him so will we.